Right, in this video I'll be covering why training abs won't get you visible abs, and should you be training abs in general. Stick around to the very end to find out what you should be doing instead and the steps you need to take in order to get visible abs. Right, let's get into it.
So, you've tried everything, every hack in the book, every fat loss ab workout on the internet, adhering to all the tips and tricks you've found, yet you are no closer to seeing your abs. So maybe it's just not for you. The truth is you've just been fed some poor information. Today I'm going to cover the truth on why these hacks never work and explain the science-based method on how you can finally see your abs. All these ab workouts out there claiming they can target belly fat. Naturally, they're blowing up in a culture where people want results instantly. However, these claims have no basis, so here are some of the facts. You cannot target a certain area to burn fat from. So if you do not have visible abs currently, it is due to a layer of subcutaneous body fat covering your abs. So is ab training actually useful in any way when it comes to losing body fat? I would argue it's a bit of a waste of time if done solely in the pursuit of getting leaner. The fact of the matter is, ab training is inherently poor at burning calories. This leaves somewhat of an opportunity cost, where you could be working on your weak points or burning far more calories by doing cardio. So now we've established how inefficient ab training is when it comes to losing body fat. So this really does beg the question, do you really need to train abs at all? Well, yes and no. Generally speaking, if you are performing heavy compound movements, you will not need to do any additional core training. Through proper bracing, you'll be using what's known as the Valsalva maneuver to increase your intra-abdominal pressure. This is performed by taking a large breath into the gut and pressing out against your abdominal wall. This is especially important for the squat, deadlift and overhead press, as you will need to stay tight to not lose positioning and therefore power output. This is sufficient for most people that they will not need to train abs. I would recommend performing most warm-up sets beltless on squats and deadlifts to help you develop your core strength. On the other hand, I believe it still may have its place if you're someone with powerful legs and a weaker core that is causing breakdown in form. I would suggest some ab training can be beneficial. Additionally, if you're someone who has lower back pain or doesn't lift heavy, look to hit a short ab workout at least twice per week in order to improve posture and reduce any strain on your back. Now let's talk about the juicy part of the video, which is why many of you stuck around. So how do you drop to a low enough body fat so you can finally see your abs? The answer is simple. The answer is calorie deficit. Since we cannot spot reduce body fat, we need to instead be in a state where we are burning more calories per day than we are consuming. So, how do you enter a calorie deficit? My biggest tip here will be to get familiar with tracking your food intake. Figure out how many calories you are consuming on an average day. In conjunction with this, make sure you are weighing in daily, first thing in the morning, before food, before water, not taking notice of daily fluctuations, but rather taking a median average for the week and looking at weekly trends. Once you've done this for a few weeks, you will have a better idea of your caloric maintenance, which is basically how many calories you need to stay the same weight. Moving forward, look to consume 200 to 300 calories below your maintenance or increase your daily energy expenditure through other means, such as increasing your cardio. I'd suggest doing a combination of the two. The length of your diet will be dependent upon where your current body fat lies and the size of your calorie deficit. However, I do recommend a small deficit in conjunction with weight training. I also recommend to ramp your protein up to at least 1 gram per pound of your body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, try to get in 200 grams of protein per day. This will help you to maintain muscle mass, which in turn will keep your daily energy requirements higher than if you were to do strictly cardio. The knock-on effect of this will mean you won't have to drop your calories as low. So here are my main takeaways from today's video. Firstly, ab workouts will not get you leaner since you cannot spot reduce body fat. Ab training is also inefficient at burning calories. Secondly, the only sure way to get abs is through sustained period in a caloric deficit. If you're not losing weight, you aren't in a caloric deficit. And a quick bonus tip would be, if weight loss begins to plateau, look to drop your calories and/or increase your daily energy expenditure through cardio. If
If you watch till the very end, please consider subscribing, since I'll be covering many topics just like this one, and a lot of the misinformation is spread throughout the industry. That way you guys can cut through all the bullshit and get straight to the stuff you need to know to get results. Smash the thumbs up if you learned something in this video, and comment down below what topics you want to see me cover next. SamuraiFitness.co.uk for coaching. See you in the next one.